Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. Bottoms Up is back. I love this series.
I know you do. Well, you're definitely going to love what we're up to today because it might be your favorite distillery of all time.
I know. We're hitting Old Forester +1.
Yeah, we are going to include a fourth bottle in this Bottoms Up, and it's a bit of an interesting one because there is a very cheap bottle in here compared to the others. Mm-hmm. There are two that are at the top end, and there's one that's right in the middle that's a little unusual, so let's get started really quickly. We'll introduce these bottles. This series, by the way, if you don't know, we take bottles from a single lineup, from a single distillery. Generally, we take a bottom shelfer, a mid shelfer, and a top shelfer, put them up against each other and see how they compete to see if you can get that great value on the bottom shelf. Let's introduce today's bottles.
Up first, it's Old Forester 100 proof.
We bought our bottle for $22, but that's been a while. I checked up on it. It's selling for about $24 or $25 locally these days.
Still a good value. Second in the lineup, Old Forester 1897 Bottled in Bond.
This, of course, from the Whiskey Row series, and all these bottles, by the way, 100 proof today. It sells for $48 locally.
Next up is the Old Forester Single Barrel 100 proof.
This is a local pick from Ben's South Liquor, 100 proof, non-age stated. We got this one for $50, so this is the most expensive bottle in this flight.
Next up is our Curveball Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve.
So this is not an Old Forester product, of course, but this is 100 proof. It is made by Brown-Forman, and it sells for $29.95. That's the price that we've seen it for everywhere. And we know that we really like it. They chisel and char the barrels so you get some extra oak action. We thought, why not? Let's throw it in here and see how it performs. Maybe it'll be that perfect value that we've been looking for with these. But Julie poured them. I mixed them around. This is a blind flight as much as it can be. And we're going to nose the glasses, taste the glasses, check out the finishes, enjoy the mouthfeels, right to left, left to right, A/B testing. You know how we do a whiskey tasting. And then we're going to let you know what we think.
On to the nose.
Here we go. Glass one.
Proofier than I would think since these were all coming in at 100 proof.
Yeah, sugar, caramel.
I get an undertone of cherry in there. Glass number 2.
I get a little more fruit on this one.
Yeah, this one's definitely sweeter.
Maybe strawberry, cherry.
It was more oak on glass 1, less oak on glass 2.
I would agree with that. Glass 3.
Ooh, this one smells richer. A little bit more desserty in this glass.
It's interesting. I might be getting a little bit of maple syrup on this one. Touch of astringency though. I don't get as much sweetness on that one. I get a little more proof before aroma.
Oh, and I just get a thickness. There's something thick about the nose on this one.
All right, glass 3, down with the thickness. On to glass 4, fruitiness and some bubblegum again. I don't know, there's a lot of similarities here, but that one smells pretty good.
I took my time on this one because I wasn't getting a ton right off the bat, and then there was just a real nice fruity quality that kind of swathed in.
Swath.
Isn't that what aromas do?
They waft.
Ah, crap. 2023, we're gonna keep that train going.
Yeah, we're off to a great start.
All right, I'm ready to taste this delicious lineup.
I've already got my hands on the glass. Let's do this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good day. I have a little banana in there.
Yep.
Not shocking. There was really nice oak, cherry swung through, good sugar element. That proofiness that I was getting on the nose, not really coming through in the palate. It's got just a tingle of warmth.
That's tasty. That is sugary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting a ton of caramel like I expected from the nose on that one. A lot of artificial sweetness in there, but that is nice.
I'm almost getting a little potpourri-ness on the nose, which is not something I normally get from a Brown-Forman product.
It coats nicely. Mm-hmm. Tons of sugar, tons of sweetness, tons of fruit. A lot of artificial notes there. That's a great way to kick off this tasting.
I'm excited.
Glass 2?
Glass 2. It tastes a little like more caramely, more like brown sugar. Mm-hmm. Little richer flavors on this one.
There's a bitterness here though too. This one's interesting because glass 1 had a ton of big flavors, a lot of sweetness. Glass 2 seems to be tempered a little bit. I wouldn't call it astringent. I just think that there's some bitterness there balancing those sweet artificial fruit notes. I'm
getting a little bit of, I do always say bubblegum, and I'm sure that's not what the flavor note is, but that's just kind of what resonates for me, that pink generic bubblegum flavor.
The flavor of the color pink.
Yeah, the flavor of the color pink. Ooh, these are only 100 proof, but they're warming me right up.
Yeah, absolutely. Good wintertime sippers so far. Glass 2 there, I took a nice waft of the aroma
Yeah.
before I sipped it, and that definitely enhanced the sip that time. I got a little bit more balance, a little less bitterness. That one coats nice too. I would say glass one coated a little better, but they're pretty much on par. This one, the finish is definitely lingering with some fruit sweetness.
I would agree. This one almost drinks a little stickier
Yeah.
than the first one. So I think the finish is just a little bit nicer in this one. They taste different.
Yeah, yeah.
Considering.
Similar for
Similar,
sure.
but different,
But different, yeah.
So I guess Mavis is going to fit right in here at the Bourbon Van. I thought maybe she'd be a little camera shy, but jumped right up, ready for the tasting.
Yeah, she's as excited for this tasting as we are. On to glass number 3. That smells like bananas now. That's a bit of bananas Foster in a glass with the maple syrup. It's a little thin, I think, but I like the flavors there.
So the flavor's way more pronounced in this glass.
Oh, it's all sugar on the finish. It's white, tons of white sugar, maybe powdered sugar.
I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but it kind of feels like, and it's not the poor man's 1910, but it kind of feels like the poor man's 1910 because I don't know. Like, there's something that, like, all those 1910 flavors are here and showing up. They're just not balanced as well as, you know, my favorite 1910.
Yeah, I don't get the extreme sweetness of a 1910, but the finish here, tons of sugar. Strawberry, banana, again, artificial strawberry and banana flavors coming through, but there is like a bananas Foster with the caramel and the maple syrup, everything in. I like this.
I agree. I like the flavors. The flavors are delicious. There's something about the finish. I actually like the finish on glass number 2 a little bit better.
I actually really like the flavor of the finish on this one, but I'm not getting the extended finish that I did from glass 2.
Exactly.
Very interesting. Glass 3 reminds me of Statesman with the powdered sugar on it. There you go, that Old Forester pedigree sneaking through there. Very good. On to glass 4?
Yeah.
All right.
Can't wait. Some nice nose on
Wow,
this one.
this one smells remarkable.
I gotta get used to drinking with the cat on my lap again.
Yeah.
It's
Takes
like
practice.
I know. I got one hand kind of tied up because I don't want to really slide off. This is our first appearance on the Bourbon Van videos.
Sure.
So I want her to kind of keep her comfortable and
Well, you're a good mom.
yeah, that's sacrificing some of my dexterity here to to get these glasses.
I think flavor-wise, this one's the first one that has a little chocolate on it. I'm noticing vanilla. I am noticing some artificial fruit sweetness. I can't really identify it, but it tastes like some sort of fruity candy. Nice oak on the back end. If you had to qualify this or quantify, I suppose, as a singular flavor, I'd probably call it like a Neapolitan.
Yeah, this one has muted flavors for me. Like the flavors are all there, just a little bit dull.
Yeah, even the nose seemed that way.
Yeah, but very pleasant. I think this is the first one where I didn't get any hint of bitterness on the sip. So that was really nice. And it actually gave me just like a kind of a nice mouthfeel.
Yeah.
So it coated the top of my mouth wonderfully and just kind of lingers there.
It's a little spicy. It strikes me that it's well put together, quite cohesive. The spice that's coming through on the finish now doesn't perfectly fit with the rest of the sip, but I don't dislike it. I actually find it very interesting. So,
Yeah.
Okay, glass 4. That's nice. I don't think coat as well.
Yeah.
I liked the mouthfeel, but it's not as oily. It doesn't stick the same way.
Right.
Pretty good.
Brown-Forman just kind of has like those punctuated bananas and sugar and more sugar and more bananas. And so that's just something that we've grown to love about it.
Yeah, and putting them side by side, those flavors
They
don't
all come out.
Well, they do a little bit, but they don't strike you as extreme.
Oh, no,
Because side by side, they all have that same flavor
Exactly.
profile. So this is interesting to see which ones are going to rise to the occasion here as we go back the other direction.
Well, it's time to go the other way.
This is going to be great.
Oh, she just put her head down. Really sacrificing for the edibles today.
Yeah. The one-handed drinker. Julie could do this with her hand behind her back.
Easily. This is lovely. Coming back, just that cherry note is really popping out now. There's really a nice oak presence.
Yeah, and I think I was just calling it spice in general
Yeah.
previously, but it's almost like a spicy ginger, like a sort of aggressive ginger, but I don't dislike that at all.
Right.
Glass 3.
This nose smells all Old Forester with maple syrup on top.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all sugar now. It's become
So sugary.
it has become a little bit one note. Less exciting on the way back, I think. I'm not getting oak from it this time around. Not finding as much fruit there. There is some artificial cherry. Still coats nice,
Yeah.
but certainly not doing as much. On the finish, cherry cough syrup now. I'm a bit disappointed, actually.
And I was feeling like they were almost trying to jam too much into this sip.
Just like squeezing things into
Just
it at
like-
Old Forester.
Well, I mean, it's definitely an Old Forester product. You can taste it, you can smell it, but there is just a hint of bitterness on here that's kind of throwing me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because normally, I mean, sometimes in that 1920 you can get a little bit just because of that higher proof point. But
Yeah. As much as I like that powdered sugar finish on the way through the first time, on the way back, it's really a cherry cough syrup finish, and I'm finding this one less satisfying. It's a little disappointing. We'll have to A/B test to see where this one goes.
I know this sounds silly, but I am excited about glasses 1 and 2. Kind of a little bit of a showdown here because they just did kind of one-up each other in different ways.
Yeah, let's go to glass 2 and see what happens.
I enjoyed this one. I actually like the finish of this glass.
Yeah.
I think the finish is really nice. I want this to be more exciting. It's delicious and I like the flavors, but I feel like they could just be a little punchier. A little bit muted for my delicate palate.
Yeah, I do wonder. Sometimes when it comes to Old Forester stuff, there's a sort of low proof side of things, and then there's the really intense proof side of things. Somewhere in the middle is where I would like to live in the Old Forester world. You know, the 1920 at 115 proof can sometimes be a bit much, but then the 1897 at 100 proof, sometimes it's not enough. I'd like to see something right in the middle there, like a Baker's 7 with 107 proof.
Oh, I love that.
It's a good place to do your
1.7 to
drinking.
114. That's where I want to live.
Yeah. Glass 2, pretty similar to Glass 3 in terms of flavor profile with the maple and the fruit sweetness and all that. But the finish, I think, is a little more complex. It's not just that dry powdered sugar and a little bit of oak bitterness.
Yeah.
There's a little more, I think, happening in Glass 2 that helps it to elevate.
Yeah, I like the finish on glass 2. It's my favorite part of the sip.
I think so too.
Yeah. Man, I thought this was going to be easy, and now I feel like I'm a little confused where I'm going to go.
Are you sure this isn't easy and you're just dragging it out because you want to drink more Old Forester?
Maybe. I like the nose on glass 1 too.
Ooh, that drink's really nice.
There is a cherry note in glass number 1 that overpowers all of the other flavors, and I like it.
It's a good whiskey.
Yeah, it doesn't drink like crazy thick or anything like that. It's actually quite thin.
Coat's nice, goes away kind of quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the finish is anything memorable, but it's a nice drink.
This is a nice one, yeah. Pull this one off the shelf anytime. I could see this appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Glass number 1.
I actually said this on the way out, where I liked the flavors of glass 1, but I liked the finish of glass 2. I thought on the way back it would change, but it didn't. I still love the finish on glass 2, but I like the flavors on glass 1.
Yeah, the palate on glass 1 and the nose, quite honestly, fantastic.
Yeah, and I didn't forget about 3 and 4. These were just for some reason in my head like they're competing against each other.
Well, let's put them up against the other ones. We're not going to show you all that, or this will be too long, this video. So we are going to A/B test, so 1 to 3, 4 to 2, here and there. We'll see what happens. I am ready.
I like that one.
That's the water.
I do like the water. Okay, I think I'm ready. This hasn't played out the way that I kind of thought it would. Not that I know what anything is or which bottle is which, but yeah. For once in my life, the sweetness didn't win out.
None of these jumped out of a glass for me. I will say this, it wasn't one of them rising to the occasion today.
Right.
It was 1 or 2 of them actually taking themselves out of the competition.
Right.
Kind of a bummer of a flight in that regard.
I know.
But let's start with 4th place. Should we push him forward on the count of 3?
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, we chose the same one.
Chose the same one. That is glass 3. I said that one was simple and a touch astringent. As much as I liked the finish right off the bat on that one, every time I went back to it, A/B testing, it definitely fell off from the rest.
I want more from it.
Yeah.
The flavors are great. They were like super sweet, totally Old Forester. There was so much astringency on the back end of that sip that it just kind of ruined the whole drink for me.
Glass letter A?
A is Old Forester 100 proof.
Okay. Well, for those of you that were rooting for the bottom shelfer, that's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Let's push our third place forward on the count of 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we split.
Oh, wow. What was it about glass 1 that you put it in third place?
It was just a little bit thin. It didn't have the cohesiveness that I was hoping for, and no finish on that one.
And for me, glass number 4 had a spice that just continued to build, and it's unusual. I just wasn't in the mood for that flavor today. I think that on any given day, I might have been. Where did you have glass number 4?
I had glass number 4 in second place.
Okay, so we switched because I had glass number 1 in second place.
Oh, okay, great.
So glass number 1 for me, I said that it was solid and good bourbon flavor and that it was satisfying. What was it about glass number 4 that put it into second place for you?
At the end, I almost swapped this one for my winner. I just really liked the flavors there. There was just something about the finish of my glass number 2 that really brought this one home. Plus, as muted as those flavors were in the lineup, at the end, they showed up, which made just like a nice, balanced, cohesive drink. So let's figure out what all of these are.
All right. Glass number 1, this is your third place. My second place is letter D.
And D is Cooper's Craft 100 proof.
So the Barrel Reserve, the Brown-Forman, not Old Forester, mind you. The $30 bottle finishes second for me, third for you. So it looks like you are not a cheap date today.
No, and what's surprising about this is that I 100% thought that that was an Old Forester product. 100%. And I actually thought, in my head, I'm thinking, this one's the Cooper's Craft. And obviously, I was wrong.
That artificial banana note did start to show up on glass 1.
Yeah.
Made me think that maybe it was the Old Forester. Glass number 4 here is letter B. My third place, your second place.
So B is the Old Forester 1897 bottled in bond.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that makes me disappointed to say that Top Shelf won today. But
So-
by $2.
That means that our single barrel is the winner here.
The single barrel is the winner.
So $50 bottle. This is letter C, just to double check.
Yep.
And I said that this one, the pleasantness revealed itself in A/B testing. We liked it from the start. The nose was fantastic. The palate was great. All along, this one had the best consistency, the best flavor profile. It just drank really, really nice, and that finish is special.
And for me, the finish is what brought this one home. And that mattered in today's competition.
Well, there you go. Spend a little extra and get the bottle that is special. Those Old Forester 100 proof single barrels, we don't see them a lot. We tend to see them in bunches, so they must release a bunch of them at a time in various places. So 1897 did pretty well today. Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve did pretty well today. The only one that really brought up the rear was that 100 proof Old Forester product, but you're getting it for half the price of those top shelfers. So especially if you're looking for a daily sipper or something to pair with a beer or something to mix with a cocktail.
Still delicious.
It's not too bad. Well, there you have it. We've got our winner here, and today it was the Top Shelf from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, we can only go down from here.
We will.